With Phase 3 of the MCU coming to a close with Spider-Man Far From Home, have you ever wondered how many movies each of your favorite MCU actors have left on their contracts? We all know Marvel prefers multi-film contracts over multi-year contracts, so what exactly does this mean for our favorite MCU actors? We'll let you in on which actors we know are still under contract and other actors whose futures in the MCU are looking much more mysterious. Hey, if you're as obsessed as we are with all things Marvel, then download Marvel Collect by Topps. It's a digital trading card app where you can collect and trade Marvel characters from both the comics and the MCU with fans around the world. I know, right? This app is free to play and new cards are released every day. You can download it now in the App Store or Google Play Store. And you can thank us later. Robert Downey Jr. The first superhero that introduced us to what would become the MCU was Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. It was a very risky decision to cast Downey Jr. at the time back in 2008, but it ended up becoming a masterstroke, and we can't even imagine anyone else playing Tony Stark. Given his incredibly emotional send-off in Avengers Endgame, it looks like it's truly the end of the road for Robert Downey Jr. in the MCU. Well, unless he returns as a hologram or something. Maybe a Force ghost? I don't know. Either way, we'll never forget what you did for us, RDJ. From all of us here at CBR, we love you 3000. Chris Evans. Even Chris Evans' Captain America had something of a send-off in Avengers Endgame when he ended up living his life with Peggy when returning the Infinity Stones at the end of the movie, coming back to the present much older than he was before. Oh, and he essentially retired by giving his shield to Sam Wilson, aka Falcon. Now it's pretty well documented that Chris Evans is interested in leaving the MCU to focus on directing instead, even though he's speaking more and more about the future of Steve Rogers in the MCU lately. That being said, Endgame was the perfect end for Cap, and it's the perfect time for Chris Evans to begin his film directing career. Give him a job, Marvel! Chris Hemsworth. While Chris Hemsworth didn't appear in Captain America Civil War, which was surprising to a lot of people, Thor is still one of the most popular characters in the MCU. Even though his first two movies weren't the greatest, Ragnarok essentially revived the character, and Infinity War turned him into one of the big three Avengers, along with Iron Man and Captain America. It's definitely not the end for Chris Hemsworth in the MCU. While he has no confirmed upcoming films, the ending of Endgame made it pretty clear that he's going to be involved in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Hemsworth also said he'd be interested in doing a Thor 4, especially if director Taika Waititi is at the helm. Mark Ruffalo. Like most MCU stars, Mark Ruffalo was signed to a 6-film deal. He's made it perfectly clear that it's a deal he's on because, well, it's Mark Ruffalo. He's a walking spoiler factory like Tom Holland, so we're not surprised something like that slipped. Seeing as cameos don't count as one of the 6 films, Ruffalo still has 2 films left on his contract, which puts him in a unique position. He's one of the few OG Avengers who's expected to make multiple appearances in Phase 4. This is great news since we love the Hulk, especially Professor Hulk, but don't expect a solo movie anytime soon. Universal! Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson's contract is much more mysterious than Mark Ruffalo's because she's just a little more tight-lipped than him. And she's a spy, you know? We saw Black Widow sacrifice herself for the Soul Stone in Avengers Endgame, but that's not going to be the last time we see her in the MCU. As you're well aware of, Black Widow is getting her own solo movie in Phase 4, and it's about time. Supposedly filming is already underway in Norway, but if you're expecting Natasha Romanoff to somehow come back to life and become a major player in Phase 4, it's not going to happen. Her film is widely expected to be a prequel, and is most likely going to be the final MCU film she appears in. Jeremy Renner. Supposedly, Jeremy Renner has a standalone Hawkeye movie in his contract, but among all the Phase 4 rumors, a Hawkeye solo film isn't one of them. So it doesn't seem very close to happening. Seeing as the standard contract is 6 films, Renner has only been in 4 MCU films in a non-cameo capacity, which means he's still on the books for 2 more movies. Whatever the case may be, we know that the MCU has plans for Jeremy Renner with their Disney Plus streaming service. They're developing a Hawkeye TV show where we'll see him pass the mantle of Hawkeye down to Kate Bishop, just like in the comics. Tom Holland. Tom Holland has said himself that he signed a 6-film contract, which means he'll be a part of the MCU at least until the end of Phase 3. Why only until the end of Phase 3? Well, that's because of the whole rights issue with Sony over our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. We know Tom Holland is the star of both Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home, but the 3rd solo movie remains up in the air. It seems like Sony and Marvel will collaborate for a 3rd Spider-Man movie, but after that, the future of the web slinger is less certain. Chadwick Boseman. Black Panther was easily one of the best films of 2018, and Chadwick Boseman's portrayal of the titular hero was a big reason why. Supposedly, Black Panther is going to be a major player in Phase 4 of the MCU and beyond, and the rumor that Boseman signed a 5-film deal seems to support that. We know that Black Panther 2 is already confirmed, but we're sure we're going to see Boseman in more than one movie after Endgame. He might just be a part of the new Avengers team. We just hope we'll get to see Namor debut in Black Panther 2, since he's been hinted at for years. Brie Larson. Captain Marvel is the strongest character in the MCU, so it made sense for her to be played by Academy Award-winning actress Brie Larson. She made her MCU debut in Captain Marvel, but the movie was a prequel of sorts since it took place in the 90s, 3 whole decades before the events of Avengers Endgame. We guess Captain Marvel ages really slowly. Anyway, judging by the success of Captain Marvel, making over $1 billion at the box office, and how well received the character was, it's safe to say Marvel Studios is going to produce a Captain Marvel 2 sometime soon. And they have big plans for Brie Larson beyond just one more movie. Benedict Cumberbatch. It's confirmed that a second Doctor Strange movie is in the works, which means at least one more film in the MCU for the best name in Hollywood, Benedict Cumberbatch. But we doubt he's going to stop there. It's very likely that Cumberbatch signed the standard 6-movie contract, which means he'd still be on the books for 2 more movies after Doctor Strange 2. We hope to see more of Carl Mordo and the introduction of Nightmare in the sequel. Anthony Mackie. As we mentioned earlier, Anthony Mackie's Falcon had a great moment with Captain America at the end of Avengers Endgame, where Steve Rogers gives him his shield. It was a touching moment that has huge implications for both the big screen MCU and TV MCU. On the big screen, we're almost certain that Anthony Mackie has at least one more film left, since he's most likely signed a 6-film deal and has already appeared in 5 films. On TV, we know he's going to be starring in the Falcon and Winter Soldier Disney Plus series, so clearly he has a future in the MCU, since he even joked about signing a contract for over 50 movies. Elizabeth Olsen. While Elizabeth Olsen supposedly had a horrible audition to play Dany Targaryen in Game of Thrones, she fit right into the MCU as Wanda Maximoff, aka Scarlet Witch. She quickly became a fan favorite, and that exchange with Thanos in Endgame turned her into a meme, so even the internet loves her. If she signed the standard 6-film contract, then she'd have 2 films left, since she's already been in 4 of them. We know she's going to be co-starring with Paul Bettany in WandaVision on the Disney Plus streaming service, so expect to see more of Wanda Maximoff moving forward, especially with the X-Men waiting to be introduced. Paul Rudd. Scott Lang managed to get out of the quantum realm thanks to a rat, who was the real hero of Endgame, let's be serious. But we're just happy he survived the film and reunited with his daughter Cassie and his girlfriend of sorts, Hope Van Dyne. We want to see more Paul Rudd, and it seems like that's exactly what we're going to get. Rudd has described his contract as a 3++ deal, which means he's probably going to stick around for a long time. Plus, there have been rumors of an Ant-Man 3, so it just makes even more sense for him to stay in the MCU. Evangeline Lilly. Here at CBR, we love the fact that the MCU is introducing more and more female superheroes into the fold. Evangeline Lilly's Wasp is one of those characters we absolutely love, especially since her suit has more bells and whistles than Scott's. And she sure loves to rub that in. She went into full superhero mode in Ant-Man and the Wasp, but quickly turned into nothing but dust after Thanos snapped his fingers. After her return in Endgame, we're sure the MCU has big plans for the Wasp, even though we have no information on any movie she's scheduled to appear in. Chris Pratt. Now it's time to take a look at the old Guardians of the Galaxy. Chris Pratt plays Star-Lord, the leader of the bunch. Well, maybe it's Thor now. So he's not the de facto leader, but he's one of them. Uh-oh, this could get ugly. After the release of the first Guardians movie, Pratt told GQ that he signed up for 2 more Guardians plus another couple. Since then, he's already appeared in Guardians 2, Infinity War, and Endgame, which means he has one more Guardians movie left in his contract. After the whole will he won't he direct Guardians 3 ordeal with James Gunn, the director is at the helm, and we expect to see all the Guardians of the Galaxy in that movie. Dave Bautista. Last but certainly not least, let's talk about Dave Bautista and his role as Drax the Destroyer. When James Gunn got fired from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, he was very vocal about his displeasure in regards to the decision. Bautista said he was done playing Drax in the MCU unless Gunn came back, and was very adamant about that decision. Now that James Gunn is back at the helm, we expect Bautista to make an appearance in Guardians 3. He retired from wrestling for good, so his schedule should be pretty much open moving forward. While you may not be under contract by Marvel to download Marvel Collect by Topps, we recommend giving it a try. We promise you won't regret it. If you ever wanted to show off your Marvel fandom to the rest of the world, this digital trading card app is the best way to do it. The list of cards you can collect is nearly endless, with the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Jessica Jones, and so much more from both the comics and the MCU is just a tap away. On top of all that content is even more content. that's getting added each and every day. Each time an MCU movie is released, you can bet some new content will be released to celebrate it. There's always something to do in Marvel Collect by Topps, so hey, what are you waiting for? Collect, trade, and connect by downloading it now in the App Store or Google Play Store. That's not all. No. Marvel Collect by Topps is also giving you the chance to win your very own official Marvel Infinity Gauntlet by downloading the app. Doing so will unlock 5 other steps, and if you complete each of these steps, you'll be entered in the grand prize draw to win an iPhone XR or a Samsung S10. All you have to do is follow @ToppsMarvel on Twitter, visit @ToppsDigital on Instagram, tweet with the Marvel Collect hashtag, upload a screenshot of your card to Instagram, and upload a screenshot of your cards. So don't just sit there. Enter the draw right now for a chance to win some great prizes. And those are the biggest actors in the MCU and how long they have left on their contracts. Do you have any insider information on these contracts? Are you sad to see Robert Downey Jr. go? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to CBR for more MCU videos. Thanks for watching.